everyone. Welcome to the Art and The Easel. If you're new here, the Art and The Easel is a podcast dedicated to creativity, wellness, and all things creative arts, as it's all intertwined in the intersection of those three things. Today we have
Adriana.
Adriana as our guest, and then we always have our, co-host.
Aaron here, aka Chiz.
And for those of you who are new, again, we start off our conversation with a meditation, a little mindful moment, just to recenter ourselves and kind of make space in our mind to take in information, enjoy some lovely chats. So with that, I'll kick it over to you, Aaron.
Yes. So this will be a quick one. If you're driving, don't do this. Don't close your eyes or anything. But if you have a safe space to do so, just take the moment to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Think about something good this week. Actually, let's switch it up. Think about something positive that happened to you this week. Take a deep breath in to inhale more of that positive, those positive things moving forward, and then exhale anything that's bothering you for this moment of time. Just try to release it as we just do this mindful moment. Take another deep breath. And just listen to your spirit, anything that the spirit is trying to tell you, anything that's trying to direct you to. And then thank it in your head. Just thank anything that has caused you any positive moments for the week, and be grateful for what you have today. I don't know. That's a unique, I've never done anything like that before. Most of my meditations are silent, but yeah, I think just be positive today. Think about something that caused you to have a sense of gratitude, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
Smile.
That was quick.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Cool. Well, thank you for being here. So I met Adriana when I think at a Morehouse, or one of my college events, when she was selling her products at it, and I saw you maybe 3 other times after that. And the thing that I can say about Adriana every time I seen her was, and I thought about the word I was coming today, was radiant. Always is very radiant in her energy and her vibes, and buying the products, you're going to feel that same radiance. Her sea moss gives the radiance, the shea butters, everything. So I think if I was to describe her in one word, it would be radiant. But yeah, businesswoman, owner of Ace Naturals. I'll let you kind of talk about who you are and what you stand for, where you're from, and just talk about the idea behind your products, and just kind of start from there.
Okay, well, my name is Adriana. Meeting Gina for the first time today.
Yeah.
Beautiful person. But yes, I'm the owner of Ace Naturals. I started about 3 years ago. It's more of a skincare line. I started with body butters because I'm really into natural ingredients and getting my family to use natural ingredients away from chemicals. But I made some for my friends a few years ago, and they really liked it. And they were like, "You need to start selling this." And they helped me get my jars and labels together. And I sold it at one event, and I liked it. And I just kept going. I just kept going, and now I'm growing more into herbal supplements, sea moss, stuff like that. And just trying to help the community get on a more natural wave, which I feel like I'm in a good spot for that in Lamert. We're kind of earthy and natural over there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, LA. I'm from LA. So it's we're into health, I feel like. A lot over here.
Yeah. How would you describe the Art and the Easel in your opinion? I know that's the title of our podcast, but we'd love to hear what's your definition of the art, and then what's your definition of the easel from your perspective?
I think of the art as the final product, the overall what people see. The easel is more background, the person putting it together might not get as much recognition as the art, but the main person that's creating, the creator, yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I love that. And I guess the first question, because you kind of touched on it a little bit, and I'm going to go a little bit personal. So, with lifestyle changes and things with family, right? Like that's like a big thing where when we figure out the changes within ourselves, we want to help the people that are closest to us. How do you, I guess, find that balance with not trying to push too hard? And then also giving your family and the people that you call friends or whatever the case, grace. How do you give them grace, but also want to help them at the same time?
It is like tough because I don't want to push. I'm vegan. My family is not vegan. So they gave me a hard time. Like, why aren't you eating like our cooking and stuff like that? But I kind of take a step back and do my own thing. If I end up making something, I'll like let them taste it. I won't tell them it's vegan, see if they like it, something like that. And they're like, oh, this is actually kind of good. And then they'll like be a little bit more open to like seeing what I'm talking about with things. I think I am kind of getting them on the wave of like trying to be on a more healthy lifestyle because they see like all the things that I'm doing and how people are actually interested in like my journey and like what I sell and stuff like that. They're like, oh, she might be doing something, and then they get a little bit more interested. But I don't push too hard. Just kind of like do my own thing, and if they have questions, I'll answer them. But yeah, we're on the way.
You kind of just like being the change on your own and letting the people come to you versus like forcing it.
Yeah, because I was raised with my grandparents, so the older generation kind of like they aren't really like trying to do new things. So I
understand. Yeah,
I feel like there's a power to not like preach sometimes and kind of just like do what you're doing, and then it will just radiate the like positive changes that are happening. They'll like see, and then they'll be like, oh, wait, what was the change? Like I kind of want to learn about it. Yeah, I love that. And I'm curious. So I believe it's 3 years that you've had your business.
Hey, only 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah. It feels like so much longer. It feels like I met you like a long time ago for some reason. That's crazy.
It does. That does feel like a while ago, actually. But it was definitely 3 years. It was 3 years I started. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It's crazy. And more if it's like your baby. It's your little like,
it literally is
everything
my
you love. Like,
yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm forgetting my question.
Oh, sorry. That's my fault.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Oh yes.
You have to walk under a door to remember.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Get it back out. Has there been anything in particular, like when it comes to self-care, like you're mentioning, you're into like skincare, body care, and etc. I feel like, starting your business, being a creative or entrepreneur or anything of that sort, it's like a roller coaster. There's so many blocks, there's so many new things you're learning, etc. How did you approach kind of when you hit those hurdles, taking moments to be mindful and like care for yourself?
I've actually had to like work on that a lot because having a business is so much work, and I wasn't prepared. Like I'm good at making my products, but as I like get deeper and like learning like the actual business part of it, like getting my business registered, like LLC, like all the different things, I get overwhelmed like really easy. And for in the beginning, like it's ironic because I wasn't really like taking care of myself like how I usually do because I was so overwhelmed with things. But I had to learn to like, especially this year, I kind of stopped working as much as I did last year just to give myself some time to like get ready for the week again instead of going back to back because it's easy to get burnt out. So I take my self-care days. I might just stay home, maybe watch a movie, do my my skincare routine, or maybe sit in the park, but just like taking time and to not do something because I feel pressure to like do stuff all the time because there's always something to be done, but just gotta like take a day or two. Each week.
What are your favorite things to watch? Just as a side note. No judgment. If it's
you might judge me. Zone. People always look at me crazy, but I like to watch things that like make me cry.
Okay, no, that's
like
that's cool. Yeah,
like I want to cry if I'm watching a movie, like something like heartwarming thing.
What's your favorite movie this year?
This year?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this year, just like in general, like It's a movie called The Time Traveler's Wife. It's so sad. It's sad. I
So
cried
sad.
the whole
I cry
movie.
every time.
I just love
It's
that.
so sad.
I cried the
and
whole
I
2
love it.
hours, but I can't watch stuff like that in front of people because I don't like crying in
Yeah.
front of people. I'm just
Really?
in my bed, like by myself, like
Mhm.
like sobbing.
I'll cry in a minute in a movie. I'll cry. I like more movies that are like happy cries, not like sad cries. So like I cried in Women King.
I heard that's a good movie. I have not watched it yet.
At the end, I cried. And then also my favorite movie of all time is John Q. We did watch it. People look at me like, "Why do you like that movie?" I'm
I
like,
like that movie.
It's something
good.
about it's powerful.
Yeah.
I cry every time I watch it.
Really
It's so
I
good.
feel that.
Do you watch it often?
When I want to cry.
When you want to cry? Okay.
I feel that. I feel that.
Sometimes you just want to cry, and it's just like you gotta find something to make you cry.
Yeah.
Right,
so
right.
you
Like The
need that
Notebook or
outlet.
something like that.
I've never actually watched The Notebook.
Ooh, it's a good movie.
You gotta watch
It's a great movie.
What about Titanic?
I like Notebook better, but
Okay.
Titanic
I
is
like
cool too.
Notebook.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I guess one of my questions was kind of related to that. But it was more so like, how do you unwind? And I think you touched on it a little bit. But when it comes to unwinding, like, since your like practice is self-care and like what your business is self-care related, is there any other like things that you do to unwind, like whether it be like exercise or exercise specifically, because I'm kind of plugging you in because I know you like to exercise. I've seen your like run club videos,
Yes.
but how important is exercising to you in regards to like unwinding?
It's super important. Like running is
Mhm.
like my therapy. Like people hate running, but it's not even exercise to me. It's like I need to run to like clear my mind for the
Mhm.
week or something like that. So running is definitely my main thing. I've been getting into yoga lately though, like hot
Mhm.
yoga, the yin classes, amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is like the next step for you in regards to like manifesting your next like level in the business? Like what is like, cause like from you working with other stores, and I'm seeing like your products in like restaurants now, and when I go and see your CMOS like in the shelf on the shelves and whatever, I'm like, that's not an easy thing to do to like build that relationship with people. And I know you're like manifesting some powerful things in your life. But are there levels to it that you're trying to reach in regards to growing Ace Naturals?
Yeah, I haven't like figured it out exactly yet.
Yeah.
I know I want to like increase my online sales because eventually I want to work from home.
Mm.
But it's like I do and I don't because I like being out and like talking to people and building a connection with my customers because I feel like that's what's gotten me so far. Like having like talking because like my customers are like my friends at this point. Like we just like be talking and then they'll tell other people. So I feel like that is what's helping my business grow. But then I also want to like take a step back and like be at home just focusing on making my products because it takes a lot of time to be like out every day when I could be like making the products. But I guess I have to find a balance with that.
Yeah, to
But,
scale up.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I know Gina, you had a good question that I saw that we sent over about community.
Oh yes.
Like
So,
I know she's big on community based stuff.
yeah, like I feel obviously it takes a lot of self-discipline and self-love to like put together all the hard work and the care for your products and whatever business you have. But it takes a village. It takes the community to really be there for you as like a support network. And like you mentioned, like customers are like your friends, and they tell their friends and it just becomes this like really great kind of web of people that connect with what you're making. I guess like how important has that been? And I guess from the start to now, cultivating that, what was like the thing that really fostered that community for you?
I grew up in LA, so I feel like this is like, I sell my products at Earl's on Crenshaw. I grew up like 2 minutes from there. And I told them, I eat there all the time. And when I told them I was starting a business, they were like, yeah, you can set up in here anytime. And I really like took that. Like I haven't left. It's been 3 years. I've been there the whole time. And I feel like if I wasn't in there, like I do markets and stuff like that, like once a month or like a couple of times a month. But that's where I am consistently. That's like been how I'm able to like sell my products consistently every day and like meet new people because there's so much foot traffic in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they like allow me to be there, and I feel like they're kind of like part of Ace Naturals at this point because I would not be able, like, I just wouldn't be where I'm not like where I want to be yet, but I'm still very grateful for where I am, and it's because of them for sure. So community is a big thing. Even my run group, I run with a group called Keep It 100.
Mm-hmm.
I make my announcement after the run group, like I have a business, like if you guys want some sea moss or some body butters, and they all like come support. I feel like I'm part of a bunch of different communities throughout LA, and I just like say it out loud what I do, and then like everybody supports, and I'm very grateful for it.
That takes some extreme confidence though to like not everybody is willing to, I guess, speak about themselves or speak about their products or like even promote themselves. I know I have a hard time doing it. I feel like in this podcast, we had a hard time promoting ourselves for so long because it was like we like, it takes like a little bit of courage to put yourself out there because you're risking like people saying, no, I don't want to support you, or scrutiny of like, what is she actually doing? Like, is her business legit? Is her CMOS legit? Like, you open yourself up for more scrutiny when you put yourself out there. But I feel like you always taking that risk with putting yourself out there, and it's always worked out for you based off of how confident you are. So I think there's some beauty in that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try. The leader or the person that organizes the run group, they'll say, because he opens it up to where it's like, if you guys have a business, like you can come to the middle and like say what you talk about. And then when people don't step up, because sometimes I'm hesitant because I do like sometimes I just don't feel like talking in front of people. But he's like, if you don't speak about your business, nobody's ever gonna know. And that like always like gives me, I'm like, okay, if I want people to support and stuff, I have to tell them what I do and like explain it and stuff like that. So I'll go in the middle. And I think about that all the time. Like when I meet new people, try to bring it up organically, like what I do and stuff like that. Not just like, oh, I have a business and that's all. But like I try to like talk about it as much as I can.
Yeah. What are some communities that you want to build that spawn from Ace Naturals? Like I know you do the Run Club, you are connected with Earls, but like is there any like goals for you? Like are you trying to build like health and wellness communities or like you know, what's kind of the thoughts there?
I like that question. I haven't thought about that, but you did. I sparked something that happened for my 3-year anniversary. I did like a wellness kind of thing.
That was dope.
It was so cool. And I didn't know if people were going to come or not, but we had a paint and sip. There was this company or these 2 women that started their business. It's called Meet Me in the Dirt. They bring like plants, and it's like plant meditation, and you have like sound baths, and it was just like a wellness like day, and everybody enjoyed it so much. And I was like, I kind of want to do this like more often. Just create a space. Nobody paid for anything. Just like you can come and like relax this day and like meditate and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be a nice thing to do. And
you
like often, like maybe once a month or once every other month, something like that.
Community check-in.
Oh, I like that community check-in.
Right? See, how's everyone doing? You know, it's good. It's good.
And then you're putting other businesses on and doing what other people did for you.
Exactly. Give when you can, give back. So everybody like gave to you. That's the goal.
Yeah. That's amazing. You have another question, G?
Yeah, I had a question about reminders, because I feel like, and I think this whole idea of like what other communities you want to build is really important, like checking in, but also any reminders that you either have told yourself or like moving forward as you've learned so much with Ace Naturals that you think would be really important to share with others, where you're like, don't forget that, like I need to like check in and you know, tune into my inner self. Is there any like reminders?
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
I feel you.
I like that question.
Same. I have like a notes app of like reminders. I have to remind myself, but I'm always curious to see what everyone else It's like, I need to remind myself of this. Yeah.
Being a, like, me selling my own products, and this is all I do. This is how, like I support myself when I have, like, a bad, or not a bad day, but, like, a day where I don't hit my goal or make as much or whatever. I feel like that kind of, like predicts my mood for the day. Like, if I don't hit my goal, I'm just sad and, like, not trying to talk to anybody. But I have to, like, remember to look at the overall picture. Like, overall, I'm usually, like, doing pretty good, and not let, like, a day where I didn't do everything that I wanted to do, like, make me feel like I'm not where I should be. So I just have to remind myself that, like, look at the overall picture, like, you're doing good, and stay consistent, and don't, like, overwhelm yourself with, like, negative thoughts, basically.
Yeah. That's amazing. What's your top reminder, Gina?
My reminder?
Yeah, I want to hear one from the long list. Google Doc. Because she has to Google Doc everything.
For everything. I really do. It's a problem. To release. I think that's been a huge thing for me. To let go. Like, know when to... I don't like using the word surrender, but, like, yeah, taking the moment to be like, okay, this is how I feel right now. It's okay that I feel this way. And let, like, the judgmental thoughts leave. You know? I feel like at least my inner voice could be a little bit critical and, like, pointing fingers kind of attitude. So reminding myself of, like, you know what, you could just chill, sit down. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just let it go instead of keeping that emotion in my body. Because if I don't, back pain, neck pain, I'm like, I should have just sat and like felt the emotion, dealt with it, and then like move forward. So release. I think that's like the big one. Yeah, girl. Yeah, it's helpful. It's helpful because you feel it like in your body. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, why am I so tense? Like what's going on? And then I'll do like somatic exercises to kind of just let it out. So release.
Yeah, why do you clown me every day at work? Stuff like that. It's because, you know.
Hello.
she's always clowning me. But
do you have one?
Yeah, do you
I think mine is just reminding myself how powerful my thoughts are and how my thoughts are creating my reality each time, whether positive or negative. I know that's a very like basics of like manifesting and just like speaking things into existence. But lately, over the last like month or so, I've been seeing the manifestations come a lot quicker, whether positive or negative, from like how my thoughts are. If I think something negative is going to happen, lately it's been happening. And then also for the other side, like the positive things have been happening. And I've just been more so realizing it, how I'm connecting my thoughts to what's actually going on in my life. And I read something this morning and it said, when you know the law of manifestation, when you actually like apply it, that's when it happens a little bit more free. Like, it happens quicker because you know the law. For people that don't know the power of their thoughts, like a lot of times, like things may manifest a little slower, whether positive or negative. Like things may not happen as quick, or then like the negative thoughts may not manifest into something because they don't know the law or whatever the case may be. But I guess since I know, I think my spirit has been showing me like the power of it lately, and just continue to like remind me to watch my thoughts. And it's okay to have like these negative thoughts sometimes because we're human. But just realizing that I can't stay in them for too long, or they may present itself in other people or in my realities. And I've been just seeing that a lot lately. So I've just been reminding myself, try to stay positive as much as I can, and don't allow myself to get too low, because it's harder to come back, you know. So.
I have to remember that too. I didn't know it goes as far as your thoughts. I thought it was like just saying it out loud, but I guess your thoughts do play a part in it too.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like the way you reparent yourself, I feel like is the same way for your brain. You have to like rewire. Like when a thought comes in, it's like, go the other lane, because that's not where I want you to go right now.
Right. And honestly, like
Yeah.
asking your thoughts questions too. Like where did this thought come from? Like be curious to be like, okay, I'm having this thought. Where did this thought come from? And then when you actually ask your thoughts questions, you get to the root of it and be like, oh, that's something like my family said, or that's something a friend said, that's something a bully in 8th grade told me. And it literally is in my subconscious mind coming back out. And I'm like, that's not actually me talking.
Right.
And then once we realize that, we're able to like let it go and be like, all right, that's not the real me. Like literally came from somebody else. So I think just asking our thoughts questions is like important. Be like, this is where you come from. You know, like and it's just like
why are you here?
Right?
Why?
And then if it's warranted that they're there, if it's like okay, like this is a reason, then I can accept that a little bit better. And I know that I'm choosing this thought, but most times, like 90% of the time, it's like that thought was in mind.
Question: I was really curious about. Are there any things that you've learned about yourself through this process of like taking that next step to pursuing something that you love? Like it takes a lot, to start a business, to have a creative outlet for yourself that you're opening up and like showcasing to people. Like you said at the run club, like, okay, fine, I'll like say something about it. Like, has there been anything you learned about yourself while like going on this journey with Ace Naturals?
I have to think about that one a little bit.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, I mean, it's a big question.
This ain't live.
What have I learned? I think I learned that I used to think that I was like awkward. Like I didn't talk to a lot of people. Like I felt like I was like introvert, awkward. I couldn't hold like a conversation that well, but now all I do is talk to people. And like even my family looks at me like, who are you? Like I was so shy before I started my business. Yeah. But now all I do is just like talk to people and like
do podcasts.
That's crazy. Yeah. But I guess I learned that I'm not as introverted as I thought that I was. Because I be talking now.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the times that every time I ran into you, like whether it be at Earl's or like selling, I'm like you're like walking up to people. You're like, hey, come over. Like you probably called me over to see your.
I probably did.
Thing, and I'm like, that's not what an introvert typically does. So that's good. I like that.
So I maybe not even learned about myself, but like maybe just like kind of adopted like as a trait for myself, because I don't think I wasn't extroverted at all. So
wow.
Yeah. I was very shy.
Cool. Yeah, like it's something kind of you adopted, like you said.
Yeah, I was like I had to, because like I said, if you don't talk about yourself, nobody's gonna know. So I was like, if this is what I'm gonna do, I have to like do it then.
A lot of people like have like side businesses, or whatever the case may be, like work their 9 to 5 and they have like a business on the side. But your 9 to 5 is your business on the side, and that takes some level of fearlessness and like just. I don't know, especially nowadays, that to do that and like be successful and still maintain yourself and maintain a living and just be happy and radiant, like I said, in the midst of that pressure. How do you do that? Because that's admirable for sure.
Thank you. I think about that all the time. Like I don't know how I got here, because I never had a 9 to 5. Like I just started my business in COVID, and I just started doing like pop-up shops and like going to Earl's, and I just never stopped. And then I don't know. I'm like very grateful that this is all I do, because I don't like working for people. So I'm glad that this worked out. But this is I don't even know. Like I'm just thankful to the community, because they're the ones that's really like supporting. But I don't even know how I'm here right now. I just am.
Because I think it's a fearlessness. Like when you're fearless, I think once you do your part, like the universe shows up for the second part for you each time, because you're putting yourself out there, and I think that's most of the battle, because the universe is going to do the second part for you, and I think that's what's been happening for you, literally.
I'm just keep relying on the universe then, because and I didn't. It's not like I knew a lot, even though I'm born and raised in LA. I didn't know a lot of people still, because I grew up like a Jehovah's Witness.
Mhm.
So I kind of
Yeah.
was like in a bubble, like
Mhm.
where I always talk to Jehovah's Witnesses. And when I stopped being a Jehovah's Witness, I didn't know anybody that wasn't a Jehovah's Witness.
Wow.
So all the people I met like these last like 2 years, like 2-3 years, are all new like people in my life, and they're so supportive. It's so so supportive. All new people, but I love them. I love them all.
Wow.
But,
Why Ace Naturals? Where'd the name come from?
I was trying to think of something, and I was texting my friend, and we were trying to like come up with like a name to put on the labels because my friends helped me make the labels. And like one day I just woke up, I was like, maybe we'll do it like an acronym. And then we just thought like of ACE, and it was like, okay, like what can we put for the letters of ACE? And then my name is Adriana, so the A stands for Adriana, and then the CE is like cosmetic essentials. So Adriana's cosmetic essentials, and that's just what it is. And I don't say that a lot. It's just Ace Naturals, but that's where it like that's what it is.
I like that. Ace means number one.
Yeah.
Like, it looks good too. Like
it does look good. It does look good. Really
simple. Good. People can remember it.
Yeah. How's the shipping part of your business? Like, I know, like, do you? So I know you mentioned the community, but I guess how are you planning to build communities in other regions? Like, like when you travel to the East Coast and whatever. Like, I know your business can expand and get there over time. You're only 3 years old. Like, there's so much growth that it's gonna happen for you in the next 3 to 4 years. But I'm just curious to see, like, what are some regions or parts of the U.S. or even globally that you want Ace Naturals to be a household name in?
I don't know. Maybe like Atlanta.
Okay.
My dad lives in Atlanta, and he's always like trying to get me to move out there because he thinks it's like a good place for my business to thrive. But I don't want to move to Atlanta. I don't want to move to Atlanta, but I feel like I can like go, if I go visit him, like I can find like a market to sell at, and then it can start growing from there. People do buy. Earl's is like a very popular spot.
Yeah.
So like people from they were on like this Netflix show, and people from all over the like world come, like Japan, like random places. And I just like hand out my card. So people like from all over the United States, at least right now, buy my products.
That's
like I'll ship to Texas or like Northern California or the like just random places. And so
what's the owner? What's his name? The owner of Earl's?
Dwayne.
Yeah. I've been seeing him post a lot more on social. Like he's been amping up their Instagram, and I think that's gonna indirectly help
People
you out.
go there just to see him. Like,
he's been on.
He's very animated. Like, he's very animated. Yeah,
he's been like more out there lately, and I like at first his social media didn't include him at all, and now he's like out there doing the cooking. I'm like, yeah, it's about to blow up. And Ace Naturals be there.
And I'm in there. I'm in there on the side.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I know earlier we were talking about the Art and the Easel and like your perspective on that. I'm curious, like, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself to be the art, or do you consider yourself to be the easel?
I would say that I'm the easel because I do so much like work. Like I make my body wetters, I make my labels, I like make sure I have all my inventory. It's just like so much background, and then people just see my final product, like my body butter, and like oh, like this is like nice presentation. I'm like I did that. But I feel like people would say that I'm the art because like how you say that I'm like radiant. I get that often. People are like, oh, like you're like the perfect person to sell skincare products because your skin is so clear and like you're so pretty, like stuff like that. And then they'll be like, okay, I'll buy it if I look like you. If my skin's gonna look like yours. And I'm like, okay, but then they end up like really liking the product too. So like, but I would say I'm easel though. But yeah,
that's amazing. And so, what's the final? I guess the last question I have for you is like, what's next? Like what's, and I know you said like you don't know because you didn't even know you were going to be here at this point in your life, but I guess what's next for you business wise, and then also like what are some next things for you spiritually? What are some things? I know we were talking about fasting before the cameras shut on, and you like trying to get more discipline there and like different things like that, but like what's next on both fronts, business and then like spiritual?
For business, I would say like getting my online orders up.
Yeah.
You mentioned that I have my products in a couple different stores.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get it in more stores, so even then I can just like make my product and drop it off like somewhere, like, and then that like gets me more exposure too, because like places that I'm not normally like is there, and then they see my Ace Naturals and they'll like reach out and stuff like that. So maybe like getting my products in more stores.
Okay.
And then spiritually, like I feel like I'm moving all the time. I want to like have a slower pace of life. In a couple of years, I think I want to move to like I don't know, like the Caribbean or something.
Oh, wow.
Like St. Lucia. I went there last year. That's where I get my sea moss from. And I met the person that sends me my sea moss and everything.
Oh, you get it
like,
direct.
I get it direct.
Oh,
like I don't.
okay,
I get it direct.
Straight from the source.
Straight from the
Wow.
source. Make
That's
sure it's real, because
amazing.
there's fake sea moss out there.
Yeah,
so
I
make sure
bet.
it's real sea moss. And I loved it there. I think I might want to like go there. Access to like fresh fruits and like real food. I feel like in America everything's processed and like terrible, and I just want to like relax and like eat some good food and breathe in some good air. And I gotta figure out how it would work from a different country though, but
Figure it out.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You can figure this out. You'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You know?
It's possible.
Yeah, it's
Anything's
possible.
Yeah,
I need to figure out what country I'm moving to.
We all pick a country.
Yeah.
I'm on
Right.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, the Cayman. Somebody told me the Cayman Islands instead of St. Lucia. I've never been there, but they're like, I don't know, somewhere. Where would you move? Where would you guys move if you had to choose on the spot right now?
I haven't been anywhere out the country yet.
Okay.
But from what I hear, Bali's a good place to live, I heard. But then, I don't know. I haven't been I want to go to Africa too. Like I heard like Ghana's a great place to live. I don't know.
Okay.
I just want to visit a bunch of places first and then see.
What's the first place you want to visit in?
Probably Bali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some places that are vegan friendly, of course. Yeah, Bali first.
I feel like it's a solid first place to live in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you?
Colombia, probably Colombia. Half of my family's from there.
Okay.
So probably Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the food, the people, the energy. It's so vibrant. So
my old roommate is from Colombia, and she like when she goes back and like posting her pictures and like the food and stuff, I'm like, that looks amazing.
Right?
I'm gonna go visit you one day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there one day.
Yeah. For now, I'll probably settle in Long Beach though.
In Long Beach.
Long Beach is cool.
In the next year, Long Beach probably. That's close, right?
That's
Long Beach,
close.
Bali.
Well, close.
It's not really a big difference.
It's kind of creeping that
like,
way. It's getting closer. But well, we thank you all for joining us. We appreciate
thank
you
for coming and sharing as well. Appreciate it.
And hopefully, like when we do season 2, we like maybe revisit, have another conversation, kind of see where you're at. But we really thank you for taking the time out. And continue being radiant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye.